You're heading into game number 2 now. SoaR have to find a way to deal with the area of effect composition and even the Camazotz solo lane.
This Camazotz solo is a spicy pick. We love it. The players have been memeing us all day, just hovering over it, but finally Divios does work with it. The other person who did work, and I want to mention the specific type of work. We were in the caster's room kind of watching this game, and Adonis and F. They were kind of commenting on a play Zap made, which was really great. Trusting his teammates to secure a kill. He was low. He could have gone for that. Aggressive Zap wants the extra kill. He might have done that. He lets his teammate secure it. He goes around the side, chases up to Snoopy to actually secure that kill, and it ends up being the best of both worlds. We even saw a lot of synergy with him and djpernicus kind of collapsing onto targets, trying to escape. It felt like Zap was really trusting of his teammates, and this is a good sign moving forward.
Absolutely. It's all about min-maxing in this professional competitive environment. If you know your teammates could potentially get the kill in about 75% or more of the circumstances, you might as well extend to the point where you can get that three-pointer as well. You want to be able to get everything to your team's advantage. And off of those 4 kills, we saw that Eager were the ones that were able to invade afterwards. So I like the snowball that they had ever since that failed invade coming out of SoaR.
Here it is, the picks and bans coming into game 2. Eager with the lead 1-0 over SoaR Gaming, and Snoopy didn't have the best performance on his Janus, looking to turn things around here. Turn his frown upside down as well. Erlang Shin, Terra, Ra, and Sobek taken off the board, and again the Janus given to him.
Yeah, I really like the fact that they are running it back. I feel like it's not so much a salty run back, it's more that they got behind in the early game and they think that they can do it better this time. And I think the comp as a whole really did work fine if they were not so behind as they were.
So the thing about SoaR that I've noticed a lot is they don't like getting invaded upon, and they don't like to invade as well. So now moving into game number 2, after seeing Eager's strategy of invading the blue buff, they're going to make the necessary adjustments. Obviously, they saw the pathing that Eager took with those wards that they placed aggressively around Eager's speed buff. So now I'm very curious to see how Eager is going to expect it, because more than likely, Eager could easily throw another invade in the solo lane, or they could even switch things up and take it to the dual lane if they wanted to.
Yeah, no, they really could. But again, I really want to see the Nemesis in the back, because I really think it can work fine, and maybe that's what we're going to see again.
It's going to be the Bacchus, at least hovered over for SoaR for now, and knowing Andinster, he has a lot of gods in his arsenal to be able to take away from, so this is why they're electing to pick up the Jing now for Metyankey. We saw what Zapman was able to do in that last game, so I like this idea. Now having double knockups for SoaR.
Yeah, I really do like the Jing pick. I think maybe the Nemesis wasn't quite what they wanted that game, so maybe they want to just take the Jing away and yeah, just take advantage of that early game.
The interesting thing is we saw a lot of thematics going on throughout this event of hunters getting comfortable and staying on that same hunter. We saw Ataraxia have success with it, getting to the group stage over Orbit, and now they take the comfort pick, which was Jing, having a successful game on it, Zapman previously, and now he can't play that anymore. But the thing is, with Eager, they haven't prioritized Zap in these drafts. They've kind of trusted that he's going to be able to flex pick what he needs to for the roster, so I'm wondering if this is just, we really think this is going to work with our comp idea, or if they're kind of mistakenly thinking they're going to kind of ban out Zap with that pick a little bit.
Eager's all about the core 3v3 between support, middle, jungle. djpernicus, Best, and Aror had been on a team together before joining Eager back in their cognitive days. They were able to play together for so long, over a year now, I believe. So there's a lot of synergy between those 3 players. So it makes sense now to save those last 2 picks for Divios and Zapman, whereas a lot of other teams, they rely very heavily to make sure that your hunter is in a safe position. Jing is definitely one of the safest hunters in the game, being able to utilize that passive to get back to the lane whenever you want.
Yeah, Zap is really one of the most versatile hunters in all of Smite, really. Like, he can really play anything, and that's why I'd say they're not really prioritizing his picks as much as maybe they used to. But I think, like, here, the draft that you have so far is absolutely amazing. It really synergizes so well.
It's interesting to see SoaR respect banning the Camazotz. This is the second time. So what's interesting is actually Homie Efe even bringing it out in the first place in such an important match against Luminosity, winning with it, and now the last game, Eager bringing it out as the last pick for Divios, winning with it.
2-0.
And now SoaR, they're like, okay, we don't really know how to play against this god. We're not confident enough to play this god, so we're just going to go ahead and take this away from Divios.
Maybe we'll see some earlier picked Camazots, I mean.
That could very well develop within
Yeah.
this best-of-5 set. You never know how the meta shifts within these long sets.
And a lot of the conversations shift the meta too, behind the scenes. Who thinks what is strong? What team members are kind of really hype on it? If Baskin's saying this is super good, somebody realizes that, it could give that god a whole nother level of respect in terms of the drafting phase. Of course, Ram, he's selected by Eager for Zap.
It's very easy, I feel, for Camazots to be able to chase down those very low health targets with that ultimate, just being able to swoop in 3 different times and then reposition yourself back into safety. Because not only you can fly past them with your second swoop, but now as you're swooping back into the team fight with your third, you're going to be landing back into safety.
Yeah, and you can kind of obviously position yourself whether you want to continue on that chase or stay safe. Amaterasu, Awilix, drafted for SoaR Gaming. How do you like this lineup, Dazer?
Yeah, I mean, the Awilix pick is actually really nice here. The Awilix is a really, really high pressure early jungler, and so is Ratatoskr, and I think the Awilix can somewhat deal with it. So they probably want to just pressure early and just outdo their opponent, like, mechanically.
So what's interesting for SoaR's 2v2 between the solo jungle is Awilix is very strong at level 1, but Amaterasu is not the strongest level 1. Now, you do have your aura, which you can stance switch between physical power or movement speed, but now with Eager last picking this Osiris, this is one of the gods that Divios has made a name for himself back in Season 1 when he was in Cognitive Red, and I'm expecting an early skirmish between these two jungle solo combinations.
Yeah, we could easily see an invade for Eager here. Osiris is absolutely insane in the early game. You can just keep someone completely slowed the entire time, and it makes it really easy to get a kill, so they could do it quite easily.
Well, I'll be on the edge of my seat. Game 2, SoaR Gaming versus Team Eager starts now.
Thanks so much, Rain Day, and the analysts, as always. Trix is back with me and Aggro once again for Game 2. Trix, how are you looking at the comps?
I mean, right now I'm favoring SoaR so much. I don't like that Awilix pick too much. I would have liked to seen a Thor. It would have been doing way more in the team fights.
Okay.
But Team Eager have the early game by far, so I think they're going to look for early aggressiveness this game.
Now, the analyst desk as well, like we was talking about early aggression that could come out. We saw it in Game 1, and with an Osiris and Ratatoskr, it could happen again.
Without a doubt. I mean, overall, the lane pressure that Eager have drafted is very, very potent. I think that's why we saw the Awilix, actually, is because I think SoaR wanted something that can fight in the early game. Awilix very, very strong in the early game, could try and make the plays. So maybe just trying to relieve a little bit of that pressure.
SoaR have to make sure they don't do the same mistake as, Eager have to make sure they don't do the same mistake as SoaR did last game, where they fought around the Eager's jungle, because now they have Xingwei and Metyankey, and he can be able to rotate to their side of the jungle, so they have to look out for that early rotation.
Well, I think both teams are worried about the early rotation so much that they're grouping up as 2 5-man units here on this right-hand side, getting the wards down deep early on.
I love
now,
this.
obviously, I don't think we'll see a proper fight here. What do you love about it?
I just love the 5v5 fight early.
Yeah?
It's funny. But then again, Eager have the better early game, so they're definitely going to lead this SoaR.
Okay, well, everyone's going to fall back on SoaR side of the map to the safety. The wards are placed down by Eager. They've got 2 pretty deep ones, one right at that blue buff and one just at the right in the Harpies as well, whereas SoaR haven't really placed theirs yet. I think they were very worried there, it seems, Aggro, about being picked off.
And this is what they were talking about on the analyst desk. There is a big potential for invade here for Eager. That's why Andinster is so insistent on getting that ward down, but because of how long it took him to do so, he's not going to be able to back. So now he only has 1 health potion, no additional mana potions on top of that.
We've seen so many invades this game, and that's also why I think they need the wards up around the solo lane side, because there have been so many invades from the NA side of the...
Well, looks like we're going to see another invade coming out. Look at Eager, though. The bad news is they've both stepped on a ward. They're rotating through the solo lane here to try and get to the blue buff, but Awilix is waiting for Divios, who's the first one here. Divios has the Wrath as well, and round the corner is waiting Baskin on the Amaterasu with no Wrath. So this is a power play for Eager already.
This is exactly what Eager love to do. They love to make you uncomfortable, and it looks like they are going to try and go for the speed buff. Very surprised to see Baskin try and go for it, but they're just trying to
Step was
fight.
huge, but Baskin takes a lot of poke too. DJ with that feather step got so abused in that situation. That means that our Jigz is here, and the body block pinned down, and the rat is dead. Trix, what went wrong?
That's the power of Amaterasu. You have the passive, you can catch up to djpernicus easily, and the early rotation from the Bacchus just made it happen to get the kill.
This is very interesting how Eager has already set their own midi meta almost, where it's the supports in the mid lane early. I mean, Jigz is doing it right now as well as Aror again, so whenever you're playing up against Eager, I guess you're putting supports in mid.
And now it's giving SoaR a nice little early lead in this game as well. You saw Snoopy get attacked in the mid lane for a little while there, but he has healed up. Jigz, meanwhile, missing the flop onto Divios as Divios is picking on multiple targets here.
Oh, chain
the
lightning.
route was fantastic to set up the chain line onto all 3 targets, and the detonate does great damage, but it's not enough to stop SoaR and kill them.
But it's enough to make sure that they're going to have to back pretty soon. The pressure again from Eager, we mentioned it right away. Despite the early first blood going the way of SoaR, the pressure is in Eager's favor.
And that's the power of Zeus and Sylvanus early game. They have so much damage in the early game, and also now Aror have the heal online, so they can also sustain a little bit. They're just gonna dominate this jungle fight.
Yeah, it seems just with the route from the Sylvanus in the early game, he's just setting so much up for Zeus every single time, right?
It does. He can get the chain lightning off, and that does so much damage, so it's a perfect setup for Zeus.
And now with that, you can see the blue buff has been stolen away by Eager. SoaR, however, will take the left-hand Harpies as a sort of consolation prize there. But the look at the level differences, you can already see that Andinster is still only at level 2.
And that's exactly what happened to him last game, where he got behind early and never really recovered. And if SoaR want to win this game, they're going to have to do a much better job of making sure that he's on time for his speed buff and is able to be there and help him out. Because if you fall behind, his Nemesis is bad. If you fall behind his Awilix, it's even worse.
And you see, even though SoaR got the first blood, they're only 100 gold behind now, and they're going to continue Eager to push this lead, and I think they're going to build a lead up, and then they're going to start looking for the fight.
And you say that, I mean, Eager as well, they've got their blue buff they just took, and they've still got their speed buff to take on that side of the map too. It's a lot of extra experience and gold that's available to allow DJ to get closer to that level 5.
Plus, I think with the way that with the timings of taking this speed buff, that DJ should still have speed buff whenever they go for the speed buff invade for SoaR. Definitely makes it a little bit easier for him.
Aror in the mid lane looking for raw pulls there, if anything else, and going to ult onto Snoopy, who's rooted in place as well. The ultimate is dropped by Best, the chain lightning comes down, but it's still
so
not
close.
enough damage from the detonate to pick up the kill.
So sad he didn't get the last take off Zeus, otherwise Snoopy would 100% have been dead there.
Just not quite fast enough. Best looked a little bit hesitant on dropping that ultimate. If he just does it right off the bat as soon as Aror ults, that's definitely a dead Snoopy.
Yeah, the Best was a little bit too far away. I think he was scared of the Bacchus jumbo roll, but they were not 5, so there was actually nothing to be scared about. I think if he just went up with a roll, they would have gotten that kill.
I agree with you.
In the end, it didn't work out so well. You can see boots have been bought and online for Zapman on the Rama, and Jing, played by Metyankey here, is heading back to base for his first rotation too, so the Hunter's not really involved in this, but because of the start here, aggro, it does give them more experience.
That's the game plan for Eager, I think, is, you know, we'll try and get pressure in the mid lane, and worst case scenario, if that doesn't work out, Zapman's gotten every wave by himself, and a fed Zapman is a Zapman that can try and make plays.
Snoopy pulled in, but the Best didn't really have anything available to go aggressive there. DJ was lurking in the wind, and they can put more pressure on, but for now, Snoopy will stand okay in the mid lane. But that seems to be the focal point here. Tricks, they're focusing Snoopy.
I mean, overall, I love this NA meta. They have so much aggressiveness around the solo side, and Eager really knows how to fight around that. They're picking the early mid support, and that's what's winning them the game.
And just look, I mean, the core just hit 5 now for SoaR, and Best is about to have his ultimate up again.
Well, bit of pressure to Divios here with the support of Andinster coming round. The feather step is good. Couple more in-hands needed, but the trade was fantastic.
Oh my!
And the minions come into play.
How did he turn that around? Now DJ's here. Baskin has to use his ultimate, but I don't know if it's going to buy him enough time.
Early as well to make sure he didn't get stunned out of that one. Space and time from Snoopy does not hit onto Divios, and Divios basically manhandled that and made it work out.
Unbelievable. I mean, Divios just making plays out here, dude. And again, it comes down to the fact that Andinster's underleveled. Just didn't have enough damage.
I mean, yeah,
yet.
he was only level 5. There was no way they're gonna kill that. Divios is so far ahead at this point, and Osiris is so easy to like stay safe in lane with, And also they have the red ult, and they know they're on the solos in lane fight. I don't know why they took that fight.
Well, that gank now has meant that 2 members of SoaR died. They lose their blue buff on the right-hand side, and the left-hand Harpies are contested there. But yeah, the blue buff going down as well is just another boon for Eager.
Just Eager, the word that always comes to mind when I watch Eager play is they just strangle you. They're not hitting you in the face. They're not,
they're struggling Baskin right now, and the tether is attached as well. He's going to get stunned in a second, but they don't even need the stun. DJ and Divios doing work, and Baskin is a non-factor.
It's actually so funny to see because they play the exact same meta right now. You see the AD carries, they get the red buff, they have the same wards put down. Also on the solo lane side, they have the same ward put down. They just put 2 wards down now, so it's not the same anymore. But before, they put the same wards down, just on the other side, obviously, and they play it as they played,
exactly the same, pretty much.
Exactly the same.
But the thing is, this is called meta aggro, right? That's what meta means.
And the deal is, though, is that this is Eager's meta. This is not the meta that SoaR is used to, and so you're right, they are trying to play Eager's game, but that just it gives the advantage to Eager. When you're trying to adapt to another team's play style, it's so much more difficult than just playing your own way. I mean, Trix, if you guys were going up against Eager, would you do the same thing? Would you try to adapt to what they're doing and try and copy it?
I mean,
or would you just try and play your own?
In this meta, I don't think Janus is that good because they're grouping up right now, and Janus needs to get picks, and he can't do that if they're grouped up all the time. So that's why the fight is all the time going in Eager's favor.
And look at how many big circles you've got on the side of Eager. If you're grouped up, what would you want? Zeus ult, Sylvanus ult, knockups from djpernicus.
Ratatoskr in the jungle and maybe a little bit out of position here, but he's got his ultimate available. Very low on mana there, djpernicus, but lucky to get away from that dangerous situation. It was more so looking for a possible rotation.
But again, probably not enough damage on SoaR to kill him at this stage. I mean, you're playing Janus, who's not an early game mage. He's not going to 100-0 you in the early game. Really, Jigz is the biggest damage dealer on SoaR in this 3v3 core fight early on.
Well, the speed buff has spawned again for SoaR this time. They will get it for themselves, however, as nobody on Eager is really that interested at this stage of the game. It's only 7 minutes in, though, but already we've seen plenty of action in this one.
Yeah, not the same sort of slow European games that we saw a lot of the time.
Hey.
And even
Just hit him. It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah, dude. Now I'm the only American here on this cast. I've got to try and stick up for my side.
Nah, I mean, to be honest, like NA is way more aggressive. They put so much pressure on the solo lane side, and that's what we see in these games as well. They're only putting the pressure on the solo lane side and just letting the ADCs farm.
And the main reason for this as well, Aggro, is down to those fire elementals. Like, it's been a whole year with them now. Everyone recognizes that gold that comes from them. Controlling the fire elemental pit is a very easy lead.
And look at the lead that Divios has gotten. It hasn't all been fire elementals, but they've definitely been a part of it. djpernicus with a pretty significant 2-level lead as well. It definitely can make a huge difference.
And with the supports being on this side of the map, it does expose that Gold Fury a little bit more here as well, Trixang. Obviously, both the supports have to keep an eye on that if they can, but I guess that becomes more of a responsibility of the Hunter now.
Yeah, I mean,
Hold that fight, Aror gets pulled in, but the shell is good. Jigz in a ton of trouble. Detonate gonna come down, not quite enough, but DJ able to find it with that in hand. Another perfectly timed shell by Aror.
Not a perfectly
Snoopy.
timed Lord of the Afterlife from Divios there. I don't think he knew Snoopy's portal was still available, but a free pick in the mid lane.
I mean, right now they're just grouping up and taking the fights because that's what they're good at right now. And at the point where they're so far ahead, Divios is going to be able to rotate, and then they're going to take the goal free and continue their...
Divios is trying to keep Baskin busy, but Andinster's here to support, and Divios in no spot. No ultimate available, remember. He needs the help from djpernicus. He'll make it a 1-for-1 trade, but I don't think that was that great overall, Aggro.
If I'm Andinster, I'm just like, oh, thank God we killed Divios. Like, at least we got that one.
I mean, Divios knew that he couldn't get out. He had no ultimate, so he just reckoned, I got a turn, and I know djpernicus is on his way, so let's just try to get the best trade out of it. Now I got caught, it's fine. We got 1-for-1, it's okay.
Plus the purification from Andinster means that sets it up later on as well. And the idea there from SoaR was so good in that play on Aurora. I mean, you saw the knockup from Jigz was lasted enough time for through space and time to hit him, and then Andinster pulled him out. He didn't even pull him out of that damage. But again, the shell from Aurora was so well timed, immune so much of that damage, and really set it up. And just these are the supports here in this game. These are the two premier supports in North America for me.
It's
Aurora
also this play style from Eager here as well on the support. They're giving the support a lot of farm here, Tricks. A hell of a lot. Like, he's above Andinster again. This is 2 games in a row.
I mean, Andinster has been really, like, zoned off farm because you've gotten pushed out all the time or forced to go back. But basically, it's just a 4-man farm fest, and everybody's getting equal XP.
And this Sylvanus and Zeus together, just able to hold the mid lane on their own, which allows DJ to farm up the jungle.
And anytime you're splitting a wave 3-4 waves, that always benefits those with Watcher's Gift, right, Trix? I mean, you want to be splitting those waves a lot because that Watcher's Gift passive is going to help you out.
Well, let's have a little listen in to the comms of Eager, because they were looking at the Gold Fury there. I want to find out what their thoughts are right now.
Alma's in left jungle.
No eyes on Jing.
I'm gonna switch stances, I don't know where she is.
Okay, lefts. The Awilix has a timer. Watch the steal, watch the steal. Bacchus looking to flop from here. He's looking to flop.
They just got speed.
Careful, Divios. No, they're going. Bacchus is going to you, Divios.
Yeah, they're going left.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah, they're looking for Janus. Just be careful.
They know. They know. We can't just do it. They have Janus. You know, we have to kill someone.
No, yeah, that's fine. If they commit, we can do it.
And a sentry on gold.
We got a little lesson to Eager there, and you saw exactly what we were thinking, I guess, is they recognize that Janus is available here, Trix. They've got to be careful.
I'm actually surprised because Zapman was the primary talker at that point. He was actually telling them what to do. You need to get the pick, and Bacchus looking for a flop there. He's saying whatever he sees on the map. He knows that there's nobody around him, so he's just looking at the map and trying to help his team out.
That was really, really impressive to me, is that he's the one calling things from the left-hand side.
Well, that was the SoaR series listening there for Eager, but at the same time, they're still looking towards the Gold Fury right now. Zapman making a rotation after pushing Metyankey in a little bit here. Metyankey's going to make a call between losing a couple of minions, or maybe even the Gold Fury. Aror on zone duty already, and this Gold Fury is already going to be down already.
Aror going to use the ult just to make sure no one can go in. Snoopy still has ultimate, so it could be Metyankey poking out Aror, but the teleport in from Divios makes sure that nothing coming in for SoaR.
And 2-5 at the moment in the scoreline. At the moment, the Gold Fury going the way of Eager, but it doesn't look like SoaR want to fight there at all. Trickstank is just going to back away after losing the gold.
No, I mean, even though they didn't have Divios for the secure and the gold free, they knew that was free. They had the war control, and they knew where they were, so that was a free gold free for them.
Yeah, free Gold Fury for the time being, and just extends Eager's lead even more. They've controlled the early game once again after not necessarily a successful invade, but it did delay the start from SoaR once again.
I mean, it looked like what Eager want to do. They want to get the early game, and I think they're going to continue picking Zeus and Sylvanus if they can. Yeah, because they want the early rotation from Aror so that he can set up for the Zeus, and it's working out great for them.
And it's also putting Snoopy on the back foot the whole game, aggro. Like from minute one, Snoopy comes to lane, and he's already having to deal with two people.
Janus just can't compete with Zeus's clear if Zeus is allowed to stand near the wave. Now Zeus, whenever the wave is coming towards him after it's been cleared, doesn't have the greatest clear in the mid lane, where Janus does excel a little bit more in that area. But if Zeus is just free to stand by the wave and throw out that shield and auto attack it a couple times, it's one of the quickest clears in the game, and that's why you see Aror here with him. He's allowed to do those sorts of things if he has a support.
And to be honest, that's also why I rather wanted the Thor pick instead of the Awilix, because he gets the passive whenever they fight 4 men around him, so that would be huge for the early fight for them.
Plus the walls would have been really great against this composition. I mean, no way for Zeus, Ratatoskr, Osiris is really the only one who can get around those walls
Sylvanus
easily.
for the fact.
Yeah, exactly. Sylvanus, another big
Aror's
one.
playing so aggressive. He's always up on the map, so with the Thor, you could possibly have picked him up way more with the
And surprising how aggressive he's been when he's only gone watches Talaria. He didn't go for tank boots or anything like that, or cooldown, you know, a bit more survivability in one form or another. Instead, it's just straight up boots, watches Talaria.
I mean, Aror likes to do that. DJ up in the sky, Baskin used the ultimate at the right time, but is it gonna be enough? Portal from Snoopy is perfect,
It is. It's going to get him out of trouble as well. Jigz will take those portals, though, to make sure Eager can't pressure the right side too much more. Aror looking for the big old pull there, but yeah, that Janus ult Trickstank was huge.
Definitely saved him, but they're going to be able to seize this tower down now because they forced him back, and it's going to take some time, so they're going to take this tower.
We could also see Zapman rotate to mid lane there as well, Aggro, to stop Snoopy pushing that in, and that will create the space on the right-hand side now for the tier 1 tower.
Just making sure Snoopy stays there, exactly. You don't want to have that extra mobility, extra damage to clear the wave. If Snoopy's standing in mid like he is right now, nothing you can really do. And look, even the fact that the right mid-hand harpies are up, you still can't farm those up if you're Snoopy because the rest of Eager is all on the right side jungle. You basically have to stand and wait.
Oh, well, Andinster was looking for the ultimate on to TheBest, and TheBest is in trouble with the flop coming through too. Big pickup here for SoaR. They're going to pick up 2 members of Eager who are just looking for the right harpies.
And what do you know? The kills happen when Aror isn't there. You don't have the heals, you don't have the protections, you don't have the shell.
Man, supports don't do anything. What are you talking about?
And all of a sudden, the Zeus, and even Zeus is going for the same sort of build. No Wingblade this time because it's not as potent up against the jungler, but it's still going for that Spirit's Robe.
Well, Metyankey making this rotation over farming instead, and now Andinster around the back. Divios in a bit of trouble here. Obviously, he's got plenty of physical protections in his kit, but he's got to deal with the blocks from Divios first of all. There's an ultimate from Aror to turn this around, and round the corner comes Zapman.
Zap level 17. He's here to try and make an impact, but can't dash in aggressively quite yet. Now he can. Look at it, Jigz. The Lord of the Afterlife on top, roots him in place. Shell.
Not enough to stop the kill for Zapman, who picks it up, but now back in the fight is Baskin. The ultimate hits onto 2 targets. The airstrike from Metyankey is good as well, but Zapman comes back into the fight. Immediately SoaR disengage, and Eager are forced to fall back thanks to Snoopy's ultimate.
SoaR looking much stronger right now, finally able to take some even fights and try and turn it around.
Eager got to be careful now that they're not going to continue going in and losing these trades. They got the picks. I'm not sure why the TheBest and djpernicus were in there at the first place, because they had no wards on the map, so they had no idea where they were. But they have to stop and play around the Aror again.
Well, that's what the strength of SoaR here as well, Aggro. They are one of the better teams. That's why they're in the the fight for the #1 team in North America right now. It's pretty much evened up that game with the last couple of trades.
I really think these are far and away the best two teams in North America right now. I think it's tough to argue that with the play. Maybe Allegiance can be in the discussion. I don't think a lot of teams want to face them with how hot they are, but overall, I think these are definitely the two best teams at NA at this very moment, and you can see why.
And now Baskin's in a pretty good position here to try and steal away this blue buff. DJ's hanging around looking for a cheeky steal back in defense, but not going to find it. Instead, looking to pressure because he's got support coming from the mid lane.
Auror's here, looking for the stun into the Zeus ult right away, but they can't find the CC chain to keep him locked in there. DJ doesn't want to let it go, though. Going to come crashing down.
They're all committing very heavy, and Snoopy is actually going to be able to swing around on the Janus with Jigz as well. However, Andinster was a little bit too late to the engagement, so Eager don't get punished for that as well as they could have done.
Very good decision from Eager backing off here. They used 3 ults on just Baskin there, and if they were going to continue chasing, the rest of the team SoaR would come in and clean them up.
Well, 11 kills in this game now at 16 minutes in. 1 Gold Fury has been completed. The Gold Fury again has respawned, however, and whenever you see Aurora in the mid lane, it just seems that SoaR just sat back aggro. They're not trying to do anything.
Not at all. Aurora's been just under no pressure, basically. 1 ultimate combo, but he was able to survive anyways. 0 deaths. Right now trying to zone out the team from the Gold Fury.
Well, we listened in. Oh, I'm not going to say. I'm just going to do a listening for a second, but I don't think it's going to happen this time round. I'll hold it off because production will get upset again, and we'll see what happens. But Baskin goes in already. The flop from Jigz doesn't actually connect with anybody there, but the Belch will. Best is the focused target here from SoaR Gaming. Heading to the backline, and the blinking from Andinster, and the space and time as well. But the space and time doesn't hit. Best will go down, but he got a lot of damage off. Rory's also low as Baskin and the snipes from Zapman clean up Andinster as he was looking to escape. Zapman is flanking around the back as DJ's looking for safety. Divios and Zap versus the team of SoaR now.
Nice flop in from Jigz. Airstrike just trying to get Met out of danger. DJ very low, but in danger is Jigz. Divios going to be able to chase him down with Lord of the Afterlife. 2 for 2 there goes SoaR, and Eager, despite having both the mid laner and the support, picked off early.
This fight was won from SoaR in the beginning. I'm confused why they didn't just back off after they got the Zeus kill. Baskin was there before Divios, and that's why they got the Zeus pick. After that, they should have backed off, but they continued chasing, and that's where they lost Andinster and Jinx.
And right now, Eager are looking to force the Gold Fury again. Metyankey from the left and Baskin from the right, and here in the middle is Eager stuck there. Zapman is forced to Sanctuary, but there's DJ in support with a big ultimate that's going to force Baskin to ult as well. He'll find the stun, but a Purify from djpernicus will keep him up standing. Meanwhile, the other two are dealing with Metyankey.
Met just trying his best, but can't handle the damage from Zapman. Level 19 right now, his 3rd kill early on in this contest. Baskin's still here.
SoaR's back as well, though, with the portals as well. I'm not sure they're going to take that one with 4 members of Eager being there. And that's a big key here. The heal and the hog is still in favor of Eager right now. Andinster trying to contest it, not going to happen. Gold Fury again, the way of Eager.
And look at how aggressive Aror is. Even though his whole team is way far away from him, he is in the front line. He's making sure nobody's going in. And that's been Aror's playstyle right now. He's just in their face. Even though there's no kill potential, he still goes for the pluck just to show dominance.
We usually talk about Aror and you in the same sentence. It's very aggressive supports. Do you see yours playstyle in Aurora?
I mean, this is kind of weird meta, and I love his aggressiveness. This is sort of me, where I don't want to be on the go free. I want to make sure everybody is zoned. So if they go in, I can engage and they can follow up.
Well, they worked out well for Eager that time round at least. The engagement was a little bit sloppy from SoaR. Like you said, they got the 1 kill, but then they aggressed again, and now they're aggressing it a little bit more. Looking to invade the speed buff, and Andy blinks to the back, looking for the best again. Featherstep was good, but he's bursted already. Zapman and DJ combine nicely. Big flop from Jigz, though. Will eliminate the best, and DJ comes back in as well. The focus seems to be on Baskin. Where's the support from SoaR?
No, you can't get there. Body blocks are too good. 4-man knockup from Metyankey, but it doesn't matter. Up into the sky, Zapman finds all 3 shots on the Snoopy.
He's at half health, and the Lord of the Afterlife comes in, but a good rat will slow him down for a second. Divios is looking for anybody right now, and the tether has hit Metyankey.
He's got to use the airstrike to get away. Best definitely was the target there because both of his defensive relics were down, but so much committed by Andinster, who was really in there by himself, and he just doesn't have the damage. He's only level 14.
Yeah, what we saw here is the fact that Best had all these active down, so they wanted to look for him. He just got his active up now. And they just wanted to pick on him before he got that the actives up so they can shut him down.
Well, they're looking at the tier 2 tower now and poking onto Jigz at the same time there. But was that really worthwhile going that deep for the Best? Trix, I understand the relics were down, but was it a little bit too risky?
They forced it way too hard. They should have Janus ult in, and they should all have committed on the target immediately instead of Andinster going in alone, blinking in it alone, and just getting blown up immediately.
Yeah, he died basically instantly there. And again, it comes back to this build that Best has gone for. Spirit's Robe, you're not going to be taking as much damage after you get knocked up, after you get hit by Feather Step. those autos from the Hydra's Lament aren't going to be as impactful.
But even with that build, Zeus have insane damage, and that's why he got blown up immediately.
Yes.
Yeah. Even though Best is 0, 3, and 5 now, player damage on the charts, he is on the lower end of things here, but it's still good damage overall. He's getting the team killed.
I mean, he haven't done too much damage, but it's purely nuke, you know. It's he haven't done any poke at all, but
Gotcha.
it's nuke.
And that's a big thing about player damage that you don't always tell, can you? Because you can see someone at the top of the charts, but all they did was poke and it didn't really do anything.
Zapman have done a lot of in the fights, but I don't think he's done 13k. I think it's been a little bit of brawling between Metyankey and Zapman in lane.
That's a good point. That could really come into play with that. Obviously, though, as the game goes on, the Hunters will naturally progress towards the top.
And that's exactly what I expect to see. And again, that's a strategy from Eager is let's allow Zapman to just solo farm. I mean, the Hunter is level 20 at 21 minutes. That's absolutely insane.
And the solo lane is only being level 17 here, Trix. This could turn into a Hunter game, this one.
Oh yeah, but that's the phase of these two games, to be honest. They're letting the Hunters get farmed. Whoever gets biggest seem to win. So Zapman right now is bigger, and he's going to do a lot of work in the teamfight coming up.
We'll see if Metyankey can come back into it, because Metyankey is well known for his teamfighting capability in the past. He's going to have to step up this game as well as this one continues. The speed buff on the right-hand side is about to spawn.
And it's going to be so hard dealing with Jing later on. They have Ratatoskr to go for him, but he can't kill him because, well, Jing is the counter to Ratatoskr.
And how so is that?
Because when Ratatoskr engages on him with the ultimate, he's going to get knocked up and he can basically just fly away.
Gotcha. So you can never... It's the same sort of thing as when getting hit by a Bacchus flop,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay. Makes sense overall there. 22 minutes in. Gold Fury down for another minute and 20 seconds. But it's almost the time for the Fire Giant to be looked at here, Aggro.
Could be, though I expect the next Gold Fury to really be the next point of contention. Eager not far enough ahead to really force a Fire Giant fight. Even though they do have that Wrath, the Wrath a little bit more effective on the Gold Fury anyways, because Fire Giant, when you get hit by it, you deal less damage, and it includes your Wrath.
Eager needs to look for something right now, as Siege or whatever. They need to do something with their lead, because the later it goes, SoaR's going to win the team fight.
And why's that?
They have like all early game basically. They can easily engage on them this time. They also have the Jing who can do whatever he wants. He will have a free game and he will do so much damage in the team fight.
And I guess that's the key for SoaR here, Aggro, because of being down at this stage of the game. If they can get to that late game and they scale better in the later game and the stronger characters, then that will make an impact.
Sure, I mean, you just look across the board. I mean, Amaterasu is better than Osiris in the late game. You can make the argument for Awilix versus Ratatoskr, both really more early game centric gods. Hold that thought. Andinster pulled in, using purification, but it doesn't matter. Aror going to be able to him up. Even had the snipes from Zapman just in case.
Yeah, but now with that, Eager can look to pressure the left-hand side. 4 members strong. The minion wave already dead, thanks to the support of djpernicus. Right-hand side, you can see that Metyankey's trying to split push, but Divios has turned up to defend, and that Jing won't be able to do too much here.
No, can't box an Osiris. This is Jing. That tether just makes it so you're doing less damage to him. He's taking less damage, and he can just really stick on you pretty easily.
I agree with you, Trix. I don't think we're going to see Sylvanus and Zeus on the same comp again, do you?
Nah, it's way too much early aggressiveness, and when both of the teams want to rotate to mid early, I don't think they want to deal with it again.
No, I don't think we'll see that again. The Gold Fury is available here and exposed for Eager, but they're going to fall back to their own side of the jungle. They don't want to bite off too much more than they can chew. They did pick up 500 gold from that tier 1 tower, however.
I am confused why they didn't keep on sieging and just send djpernicus back to deal with the Janus, because they could easily have gotten that tier 2 tower.
Well, they're going to go for the Gold Fury instead here. Jigz is zoned away with the flop, and that will spell another Gold Fury the way of Eager. No snipe coming out from Snoopy there. I saw him in the position. Actually, the ult was actually being focused onto Metyankey.
It's just unbelievable to look at Auror's level compared to everyone else. I mean, he's a level up. He was Best just hit 17. Aurora's been 17 for a while now. I mean, this is like, this is a support's dream, right, Trix? I mean, you're getting so much farm.
Oh yeah, Sylvanus is so easy to pick out, and the fact that you can get ahead and get the protection online, I mean, you feel like you have mobility almost.
Look at the items. Look at the item difference between
Almost
Aurora and
full build,
Jigz. Yeah, he's almost full build. He only has to sell that Mark of the Vanguard.
I mean, this rotation, right, just to be clear, this rotation gets Sylvanus ahead a little bit, but it's actually monstrous how good he's farmed this up. It looks like DJ stayed away from mid lane a little bit more to just give 2 members the farm, which has been the support in the mid instead.
Oh yeah, it seems like they just want that synergy between Zeus and Sylvanus. They have really good synergization. Also, Aror have the ultimate to peel for the best, so if they engage on him, they can actually turn the fight around.
Well, 12-8 now, 25 minutes in. The speed buff spawning for SoaR here, and there's 4 members grouped up to take a speed buff on that left-hand side. Not necessarily just to share the experience, which they all still want and need, but it's more to make sure they don't lose it again.
It's not only that, but you need to be trying to get some ward coverage down if you're SoaR, and Eager want to be the ones who's denying any sort of vision on this right-hand side. Wouldn't be surprised to see them going for the siege play. Like Trix mentioned, though there is no Wrath this time for SoaR, and no global pressure from them either.
Yeah, they might actually look for the Fire Giant now when they're the only ones who have a hog, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they want to do.
Well, they look and stole away the blue buff down the right-hand side, at least attempted to. Left-hand side, Divios and Baskin have switched where they're going to be on the map this time round. Obviously, both with teleport, looking to pressure the other side's map.
And Aror just keeps standing in their face. They know that he's so far away from his team, but he just does whatever he wants at this
And you
point.
can see Metyankey hitting him. He's not really hurting whatsoever. And even if he does connect an auto, he's not doing that much at all. Jigz, though, is going to force the tree into an awkward spot. The Gus did some work that time, though, as did Andy, and maybe they've had enough of having to deal with Aror, but the ult from Best will just stop them in their tracks.
Ult come out from Awilix there as well, so you're trading ult for ult. I'd much rather have Zeus ult than Awilix ult in this stage in the game, but even this poke onto Aror isn't that significant. He's going to have the wisps.
They do feel like they've got the lead here, though, Eager. They are still playing with the Fire Giant right now. DJ off to the right-hand side, farming up the camps, and the minion wave, I should say, knowing he's got his ultimate to escape if he gets in any danger.
I would love to see the last item for Aurora be a Lotus Crown. I feel like that would be really, really potent here for in-combat healing.
The extra protections as well will really come into effect. I mean, Jigz took a lot of poke there, pulled back on it by Aurora again, and the Fat Man is already dead. The crit damage from Metyankey's not doing it. Lever is the space and time that just fired off. DJ goes to the sky as does Zapman, looking for an isolated target away from the fight right now, and the target, I'm not sure where DJ's thinking about.
He's
going
just
to be with
thinking
his
about
team.
going back in, exactly. No reason to do so. Fire Giant started up now by Eager again. The wisps coming down from Aurora.
Well, let's have a Steel Series listening to Eager this time at the Fire Giant.
They're gonna Janus ult.
We got it.
Okay,
Push
get
mid,
out.
push mid.
Bridge you two.
Stay together.
I think we should back.
Careful
I
up
have
here.
Deathbringer.
Okay,
I have Deathbringer.
okay.
I have
We
Deathbringer,
can back,
yeah.
we can back.
Let's back, get our buffs, and push mid, alright?
Yeah.
I got Deathbringer. I'm swinging.
Yeah, let's take advantage of this Fire Giant for sure.
Yeah, we can push, we can get
I'm gonna
tier
get
2.
purple
Yeah,
pot.
listen, we get tier 2 mid, right, and then we do gold. It'll be up by then.
Grab blue.
Well, sadly, the time of the Steel Series listening wasn't the greatest there, but you did hear what Eager were talking about. The Deathbringer's online for Zapman now, and he's going to start swinging for the houses.
Do you like this call to go for a tier 2 tower and then gold when you're up by this much already with a Fire Giant? Would you rather see them push
Well,
out?
you can hold that thought for a second because it looks like there's a fight underway. Best is doing a very good job of staying alive there. Andinster tried to make a play, but Zapman has found him, and a 5-3-2 crit to the face of Andinster will remove him.
Jig gonna take the portals, but DJ's waiting for him in the sky. Gonna find him with the knockup, pull off the mark from Aror, but you can't miss that ultimate. DJ gonna be able to pick him up. I like the idea there from SoaR to just try and get into the jungle, find one person by themselves, but when it doesn't go right, you have to use that Janus ultimate to get out very quickly.
I mean, at this point, they're so far behind, and they lost the Fire Giant. They needed to do something, and they tried to pick the Zeus out, but it just didn't work out for them because Eager is so grouped. Now they're going to take the Phoenix, and they're going to take all the towers, and they probably will seize this one to win.
Yeah, they might as well do. There's only 3 members here to defend, and there's only one person for a front line, which is Baskin here. The other 2 are situational backliners, as you know, with a mage and a hunter. You're correct, though, Trix. They take a Phoenix, and then they're going to go to the right-hand side, and going to find some speed buff as well, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think they will take this tower, go maybe to the other tower. They are actually up now, so I'm not sure. They might just go to the Gold Fury and take that, as Zapman said in the comms.
Yeah, what I was going to say was, like, it seemed to me that going for Gold Fury at this stage, most of them are already full build. It didn't really seem that impactful, but then once they got those 2 picks, the Phoenix in middle lane is free. And now they're going to be able to back. They'll probably pick up gold on the way to that final tower. By that point, the Fire Giant will be near falling off.
Sometimes it is useful to get the gold just to make sure they can't get it, Tricks, even if you are full build, right?
I mean, the support still need a little bit more gold.
Not
Does
Aurora in
Aurora?
this game, man. He's level 19.
He still needs to sell his Mark of the Vanguard and his boost, so he still need a little bit more to get the full build online and save that Zeus.
Whoa. We're watching a Raw here,
We need
right?
the full build.
We don't often see supports with full builds, Tricks. Like,
That's
and
true.
you're already like, listen, he needs to sell his starter item first before I say he's full build.
Whoa,
I mean, not
Aurora still
only
needs
him,
a
but also
3k pot
Zeus.
Hindu before he's full build.
Maybe.
3k pot on Sylvanus.
You need some damage, man.
Yeah, you do at some point. That's what's going to happen here. Well, they're going to get the Gold Fury, and now Aurora deep in the territory. And
Look at where he is.
He is probably the one to talk about in this game, even though he's not got many of the kills, but he's had a very good influence in this game.
No, Raw's definitely the player to watch in this game. He's been the one who have all the pressure for Eager. He's up in their face, and he is making sure he's hitting his pulls, and he's been doing a great job.
And now he's actually zoning them away from the tier 2 tower, allowing this minion wave to pull all the way in, which means Eager will get the tier 2 on the left-hand side uncontested. And now with a Phoenix down in the mid lane, they can start to siege the the left-hand side Phoenix.
Divios is pushing waves up on the right-hand side, wants to have that option to rotate over if necessary. I'm sure you'll see him teleport if the engage
back
happens.
onto Best, but immediately purifies it away. Space and time did not hit home, and Baskin is going to get his ultimate off and stun Best, but it's not a whole lot of damage, and instead, he'll die in trade. There's the airstrike out from Metyankey, looking to make something happen, but meanwhile, Jigz is already falling to the pressure of djpernicus. Metyankey, though, did clean up the Best, but he'll play for his discretions there on the left-hand side. So it's 3 members down, makes that 4 as Andy falls as well.
Zap pretty low. Snoopy just looking to get a kill. Not going to be able to find it, I don't think. No, 620 casually from Zapman there. They're going to be able to get the deicide up against SoaR.
Well, it's 20-10, and they don't even care about the Phoenix on the left-hand side. They're going straight to the Titan. Trick Tank, eager at 2-0. Are you surprised?
I mean, you saw SoaR. They needed this Zeus kill because he does so much damage. They go all in for him, and you just can't do that because he had all these actives up, and they're just going to take advantage of it.
Well, Eager now are 1 win away from going to the World Championships as the #1 seeds. They've come in to pick some bans here, aggro against SoaR, and they had a strategy, quite clearly.
And they're sticking to it. They haven't even changed it up since game 1, and it's really been working out very well for them. And like you guys mentioned, I'd be very, very surprised to see Aror get Sylvanus again or Best get Zeus again. I just don't think there's any reason to give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, I love the boys from Eager, but to be honest, I thought SoaR would be the better team in this matchup.
Sure.
Eager have really surprised me, to be honest, and if they keep this pace up, I think they can win the World Championship.
So when you look at the side of SoaR then and what happened, we talked about Sylvanus and Zeus. Is that the main combo you don't want to see together in this game?
I mean, now in this meta where the support rotates early, the synergy between Zeus and Sylvanus is so strong early game. So I think they're going to keep doing that. If they give him it again, they're going to do it.
And we see a double invade twice out of Eager that has worked out well in the end of the day. They did lose DJ right at the start, but it still worked out.
It still messed with SoaR. They still didn't know exactly where they wanted to be, and that's enough. I mean, even if you give up that first blood, as long as you're keeping SoaR off their game and have them playing your game. Again, it was SoaR playing the exact same sort of style as Eager, like Trix mentioned. You just can't do that. You got to stick to your game. SoaR had tried to adapt to Eager's. It didn't work out. I'd like to see them just try and play their own style in game 3.
If they're gonna give them Sylvanus and Zeus again, I think they're gonna have to pick something else from it, something more pressures, not Janus again for sure.
Yes, I agree with that.
Well, 2 games go the way of Eager. They need 1 more to win it, but the analysts are ready to talk us through game 2.
Thanks, Hindu. It's game 2 in the bag. Eager take it home, looking stronger than ever.
It's so amazing to see what Eager are always able to throw out against SoaR Gaming, and now the more mechanically skilled, gifted team is down 2 games. They have to reverse sweep if they want to avoid being in the same lower half bracket of energy here.
Well, Dazer, you know, is this even possible? Auror's looking so good on that Sylvanus. He's looking so aggressive. The synergy from Eager seems unbeatable at this moment.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really difficult for SoaR to come back into this. Like, going in, now that they're 2 games down, it's really demoralizing. The fact that you've got to think we can't lose a single game from now on. It's really hard, like, mentally to deal with that.
They've been prioritizing the Janus. We see that the Zeus and the Sylvanus instantly counterpicked for Eager. Do you expect any sort of change for SoaR heading into game 3 here?
Yeah, they're going to need to change something. I think the Zeus and Sylvanus is just too strong together, especially when there's the supports are not even endure at all. They've just instantly been out of lane and coming straight to mid.
It just seems the peels coming out of Aror are just so good, protecting Zap and the best in the backline. We saw that 4-man ultimate from Aror at the end of that last game. Even this moment right here was so beautiful for Eager because they found the random invade on the red buff, the nice blind pull from Aror without even the root, as well as being able to pick up the Gold Fury after.
What I love too is the damage that Sylvanus brings over time from his ult, from his whiffs, allow him to secure some of those kills that would have gotten away had they had another support in their lineup. Also, we saw, talk about amazing plays, talk about securing kills. Divios was on fire in the solo lane. Talk about that moment.
That gank attempt from Andinster around the 4-minute mark, it was so beautifully executed by Divios. Just being able to bait long enough. He barely got under his tier 1 tower. He did a quick 180, preventing the knockup from Andy. Finds the long distance fadeaway shot. Arch just cleaned him up, and then the rotation coming out of djpernicus for the cleanup kill. And Divios yet again with another fadeaway shot.
It just feels like a man who knows his zone. He knows his lane, and he stays in it. And Divios, one of the best solo laners, we think, in the world at this point, showing that he really deserves to be in that conversation, maybe even more so than Baskin. I mean, he's taking him to school. A lot of people showing the credit to both players, and Divios clearly getting the better end of this trade.
If you give Eager the second pick, they're always going to find the right counter matchup for Divios. Now, we saw the level 1 invade didn't go Eager's way because of the nice rotation coming out of Jigz, getting in position. They're actually, after a red buff, immediately making that rotation, and it seemed that the Amaterasu and Awilix was purposely picked expecting that level 1 invade.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's really smart for them to rotate the Bacchus over there. They really needed him to be there, I think. He might have missed a flop, obviously, coming in, but to be honest, it didn't really matter that much. They managed to find the body block and just destroy Pernicus.
That's like always one of the most exciting things. Like, it's not really truly appreciated, but that little triangular body block against the wall, and you just like, sometimes you don't even kill them until the last second. You're like, you can't get out of here this one.
Exactly. You got to taunt it off a bit, you know, if you put it off.
Gotta show your stuff.
So assuming they won't take both away, what do you think is going to be prioritized more, the Zeus or the Sylvanus kind of getting banned out by SoaR?
It seems to me that SoaR, so they've been consistently banning out the Ra and the Sobek. So I expect, keep the Ra ban. I like that idea. Now, take away the Sobek ban instead. Try to take away the Sylvanus, because the control that Aror has been doing for his team, both offensively and defensively, has just been making it too difficult for SoaR to really get in a position to do anything. We've even seen Andinster find the knockup and pull, accidentally, I would say, pulling Aror into his team, which actually helped them find a better ultimate there.
One way they could do it actually is where they don't actually ban the Sobek and maybe look to first pick it. It tends to be a very good pick into Sylvanus and even Zeus, especially if it gets ahead. It's just like, as I said before, Sylvanus is a god which is very easy to pick off if they do find him in the jungle. So maybe a Sobek is actually a good pick for them instead of banning it out.
Could be a flex opportunity for Jigz or to Baskin.
We'll talk about flexing. You want to flex your avatars in game. That's right. You know it. You got the cutesy chess chance if you go ahead and link your twitch.tv account and your hi-rez account. Get you those cool avatars that you see on your screen potentially, and some more stuff. The drops will accumulate as you continue to watch more hi-rez TV, and so that's a beautiful thing that you can get yourself one of. And of course, there's a couple of other beautiful things coming up. It's Odyssey season. We know that. Everybody's been investing gems all over the place. Heebie-Chibi Hades and all of that good stuff. But there is a new Odyssey coming into the building. That's the ultimate prize, the Tier 5 skin. We've got a little bit of a video to show you about it. So without further ado, let's get into it.
This year's Tier 5 skin came from a community participation contest, and the Tier 5 Anubis was the winner out of that group, which is Anubis evolving from a cultist slowly over time into his ultimate demonic form.
So we have 4 different paths going through the production pipeline at the same time. We have its acolyte form, we have the 2 intermediate forms, and then the demonic form.
This Tier 5 has everything in the kitchen sink in it. It's got VXG, got its own music theme, it's got different effects for every level, it's 4 different character models.
So yeah, this has been a huge undertaking, and it's obviously the final piece of content that's in the Odyssey, and we're hoping to get that out to you in the end of November.
This Tier 5 skin is going to be completely over the top and amazing, so I'm definitely looking forward to playing some Anubis.
The rock and roll theme in the background. I'm getting excited, ready to play that. Totally on the drums. I'll be on the guitar. Days are on the...
He's on the microphone.
Yeah,
okay, on the mic. All right.
Yeah, I'm a great singer.
Yeah. No, you could definitely be lead singer. That's right. I forget that. You got the nice English touch there. I'm actually really excited because Anubis, one of the, I think, gods that a lot of people can relate to playing. I mean, he may not get a lot of love in the SPL, but come on, you all play Anubis at some point. I think it's a great god for them to have chosen. Also, it's a community choice thing, so this is really a culmination of all your thoughts, your efforts, and what you wanted to see actually come to fruition. That's kind of the beauty about hi-rez, taking in the community and incorporating all of those decisions that we really want to see most, into the game.
It's all one big happy family. Now we're going to see a lot more Anubis mains, and I know, who's more happy than anybody else right now? Bart. Oh. Bart is an Anubis main out there, and he's going to be tweeting about this one, I'm sure.
He's really
going to be playing a lot of Anubis.
Hopefully we'll see some Anubis at Worlds now.
Hey, maybe. You
Knight could be
never
there.
know. Camazotz is coming out. Nobody expected that. Maybe we'll see Divios pulling out Anubis in the solo lane.
Maybe not the solo. Maybe Best can do it.
Yeah.
Ulting Fire Giant early.
Yeah, and
You might see it.
in Super Regionals last year during COG, he actually did pull it out against Cloud9 in that set. It didn't really work out his way, but he did get a lot of kills in the early game.
Yeah, no, absolutely.